Hello everyone, welcome back to Shadowtoys Photography. Today we'll be reviewing the top 10 of 2023. Validity check, everyone's integrity on the line here. So before we get started, let me go over a few categories, some of which may be too big to show, so I may be just talking through it, bear with me. So for example, Toy of the Year, which is the McFarlane Batmobile, which I do have, but I just don't have the space to show it. I apologize, but come on, $60 to $70 shipped. You can't beat that. A 1/12 scale vehicle. It fits a 6 or 7 inch figure, and it's the Batmobile. I mean, nothing's gonna beat that. Nothing did beat that in 2023. I mean, we can argue little things here and there about it, but it was a great deal. It was a great buy. Kudos to McFarlane for that. I mean, McFarlane's not necessarily the company of the year, but we'll get to that in a moment. The best newcomer is obviously, no surprise, Shadowtoys. I don't have any of them just yet. I did. I'm basically just waiting for Ken, and then after Ken, my boy Ken, and then Cammy and Vega and just all the rest. I'm in for a lot of them. Looking forward to supporting that line. So definitely best newcomer, Shadowtoys. Toy company deserves an honorable mention. I'm gonna bring out something to show here. Is Joy Toy. If you haven't heard from them, they do the Warhammer series. I mean, it's 3 3/4 inch. Take a look at this. I mean, this is just one of many Warhammer figures, but they do 1/12 scale figures, and I went over Vermouth here. She was part of a 2-pack, well, not necessarily a 2-pack, but a team, and just a cloth goods female, double jointed. I mean, again, cloth goods female, excellent. She looks great. She didn't make the list, however, because, you know, she was a little restricted, and I'll get to the prerequisites of the list, but keep an eye on Joy Toy and their Warhammer line. They have their QC like everyone else, but they are overwhelmingly good. They're consistently good, and yeah, it's just Warhammer in general is going to be coming out. Trust me. Now, Toy Company of the Year. Excuse me. I have to clear the throat for that one. Is, drum roll, Tamashii Nations. Bandai Tamashii Nations. Give it up for Bandai. We'll be going over, I mean, I'm not going to show, there's going to be too many of them, but they do listen to the fans. It seems like they picked up every anime IP under the sun. I think what anime aren't they doing at this point? Their offerings were great this year. A lot of them had a lot of QC. I mean, it was a bad year for them in QC. I mean, I love Berserk. If you've been following me, you know I love Berserk. If you see my icons, you know I love Berserk. And I had to cancel my Guts and Griffith from them because they were just so bad with QC. I mean, that was tough. That was upsetting. But, I mean, if he can't hold his sword, I mean, what's the point? So anyways, let's go onward to figure of the year finally. Now, before we get started, I'm going to go over again some category prerequisites, if you will. Just figures that have no QC. I mean, I'm sure somebody's had issues with these figures, but across the board, they were great. It didn't really hit, and I was paying attention what hit my timeline or whatever you want to call it. I haven't seen any QC about these figures, no complaints about these figures. People are pretty unanimous and agree these are good figures. So the categories are, I mean, number one, does it look good? Are you familiar? I mean, it's not going to be on any order or number. I don't know why I'm numbering them, but does it look good? Is it a familiar character? Can you see it and be like, you know exactly who that is? Does it move well? Does it articulate smooth? Do the materials feel good? What materials are they using? Does it feel good in hand? Because stuff could look really well, like Metal Cooler, but he feels on the lighter side, on the cheap side, you know what I mean? So that counts, and I guess we'll count price point and accessories we'll throw that in there. So let's go on and let's do this. So number 10 is, excuse me, Indiana Jones. Hasbro's Indiana Jones from the Indiana Jones line. Now, I know he doesn't have the greatest articulation. It doesn't really look like Harrison Ford. Now, I'm going to make arguments for all my picks, so bear with me. This figure, I mean, you pick any of the Indiana Joneses, whatever your favorite, but I just feel like this figure is the only one you really need, honestly. The fun factor with this figure is 10 out of 10. Like, this was definitely the funnest figure I picked up all year. I mean, you could bring this figure anywhere. I bought him to Disney on my honeymoon. I bought him to the Disney park, to the Indiana Jones ride, took pictures in front of the tank and all that. Go check my Instagram, ShadowtoyPhotography. You might have to scroll down to, I believe it was like April, May, springtime, but I had a blast with this figure. You can bring him anywhere. Like, he poses so easy. Again, you can bring him anywhere, like the beach, the library, the city, the woods, the jungle, just playing around in your couch. I mean, this figure just looks good anywhere. You could bring it anywhere. The fun factor for this figure is what made the list, honestly. I'm a little disappointed with this list, honestly, but I opened a lot. I messed with and held a lot of figures, and definitely the funnest figure. So we'll say number 10 is Indiana. Number 9, now, again, Hasbro. They've had problems, but the Doc Ondar from, Hasbro Black Series, Star Wars, the Disney park. And again, I'm not trying to be biased because I did meet him this year, last year, 2023. But this figure, it just needs a wash. But other than that, I mean, cloth goods, new sculpt, new alien. This is exactly what I want my Star Wars figures to be like going forward. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest articulation. It's decent, but I mean, it's just everything I wanted. Everything we need, Star Wars, just cloth goods and just random stuff dangling off of him. He came with great accessories. That Stormtrooper helmet here, Stormtrooper, Clone Trooper, excuse me, fits on a lot of Black Series and just 1/12 scale figures. I mean, he came with Sith and Jedi holocrons. I mean, the only flaw about this figure, besides needing a bit of wash, was its price point. I believe it was like, oh gosh, I want to say like $100. I don't want to say that much, but was he like 60 or something like that? He was basically 100 after tax. I don't know. It was ridiculously overpriced. I mean, this is really well done. It feels great. It really feels really nice. And can I get that over him? Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to mess with it too much, but yeah, I was surprised when I took him out of the package. It was a big surprise. I was like, wow, he's amazing. All right, let's move on to number 8. It's Hasbro again, the Black Widow figure from Marvel Legends. Now, the Marvel Legends line, like the Black Series line, had a few hits, quite a few hits, Blob, Spiral, but it had a lot more misses. But this is finally what we've all been waiting for, to be able to do this with our females. Not only the double jointed arms and legs that are pinless, finally, she has a butterfly joint, which is beautiful. I mean, she could have used the double neck peg, but with the design there, it's forgivable. Maybe a little bit more neck movement, but she comes with 3 heads. I heard somebody say to the Star Wars team that they said her price point was great. No, it wasn't. It was definitely maybe $5-10 too much, after tax. Was she 35? Came out to 40. This is a $25 to $30 figure, not above that. Even with all she came with, I mean, spare me the exclusivity of it. It's Target, but I mean, this sat on a shelf for up until 2 weeks before Christmas in my Target. And I live in New York, so it's not like I live in the sticks. Maybe, but not too much. But yeah, the articulation, they need to do Psylocke like this. Every female, you know, they basically just need to change, yeah, the torso, or the upper torso. They could definitely get a lot of reuse out of this. But everyone was happy about this figure. No one complained about this figure. That's number 8. Now, number 7, of course, came from their best line, the G.I. Joe line, and we're going with Snow Job. Now, I didn't get every G.I. Joe, I'll admit, this year, or last year, 2023, but Snow Job, again, his price point was a little too high, but, you know, bring him down about $5-10 again, and you have an absolute winner. Absolute winner. Would have been in the top 5, maybe. There were a lot of, I don't know how much price point, like I said, doesn't make or break a figure too much, but Snow Job was definitely, why did I pick Snow Job over the others? Because he, with the skis and just the backpack and everything that he just comes together on him, comes with an extra head, but just, I was surprised. I didn't really have Snow Job. I had a lot of the other Snow guys, but it just, I had G.I. Joes with skis and all that, and he just really surprised, like, just the nostalgia just hit me right in the face. It was like, wow, this is, okay, now we're cooking. This is G.I. Joe that I remember just upscaled. They don't always hit the mark. And I don't know if it's necessarily Hasbro's fault. It's just some things don't transfer well to 6-inch scale, and they could take some liberties here and there. But this one just upscaled, and boom, and there goes the ski. That's another thing. The ski doesn't really stay on too well, but it does stay on for the most part. I mean, wiggle, 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 wiggle. But yeah, Snow Job. I may have to move him out because he's all bent up on the skis. But yeah, G.I. Joe. Great line this year. I mean, you could put the His Tank at number 2, but honestly, I think I gotta stop calling HasLabs as Toys of the Year. Maybe not. But yeah, the His Tank, I did not back it only because the His Tank's not my thing. But yeah, let me move on here before I lose my order. Let's see, it's 7, number 6, I believe. Nezuko from BuzzMod. Again, their price point is ridiculous, but according to my YouTube analytics, everyone loves this figure. No one really complained about this figure. I didn't hear or see any flaws about this figure. I didn't have any flaws about this figure. I don't really like to say that, but because, you know, mine's okay. I hate that. But yeah, she's great. No complaints. Unlike Daki, which, I mean, you could replace her with Daki if you want, but Daki does come apart in the middle a little too easy. This figure does not. I mean, she comes with an effect piece. I mean, Daki, they did a great job as well with the her ribbons, which were wired. It's beautiful, but I mean, this Nezuko, the facial expressions on her. Again, hop on my Instagram. You'll see the full array. But I believe she's number 6. Yeah. Number 5, we got Daizen, Shishio, Daizen Studio Shishio from Rurouni Kenshin. This figure is just a perfect, it's cloth goods. Well, cloth goods was another prerequisite to add. I mean, if it has cloth goods, it's gonna, you know, up the figure. I mean, Nezuko just has very little. I mean, Doc Ondar. I mean, if Indy's jacket was a cloth goods jacket, that would have been great. You can't really, what are you gonna bodysuit Black Widow? Maybe. I'd love Nezuko to do Black Widow, but we're getting off on a tangent. The cloth goods really set this figure apart, and he is mummy sculpted, wrapped every part of his body. So I really appreciate that. That's really well done. That's really well done. He does come with his Homuradama and all that good stuff. Face sculpts are excellent. Multiple head sculpts. Yeah, I mean, Makoto Shishio. Can you ask for anything else? I mean, he's perfect. It's perfect. I mean, jeez. All right, where are we? Number 5 or number 4? Let me see. Hold on. Lost count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, number 4. Wow. Figure arts Venom. It's perfect. You look up all the way, down all the way. His accessories are great. He's off screen. He's huge. Butterfly. As you can see, just perfect articulation. I mean, it may not be everyone's favorite Venom. Everyone prefers the one with the, well, one doesn't really exist. Just the design of Venom with the Spider-Man, well, the spider emblem on his front and back there. But yeah, this movie Venom is just perfect. I mean, the face is menacing. He comes with the extra head, like floating, just like the symbiote, you know, without a host. Yeah, Venom. Venom. Uh-oh, running out of space here. Let's kind of scoot everyone over here. Does this work? Yes. Yes, you know what's throwing me off? It's because I don't have Snow Job on screen. I don't know if this is gonna work here. Okay. Number 3. Now, it's kind of a 2-pack, not really a 2-pack. You could get these separately. I'm counting it as a 2-pack only because it'd be unfair if I didn't. But it's the Joel and Ellie by LIM Toys or Lim Toys. Oh my goodness. They're perfect. They're beautiful. A little kid cloth goods figure, finally. I mean, I'm not a weirdo or anything like that. Like, I need more females in my collection. We do need more kid or kid-size figures in our collection. I mean, they're doing Kid Anakin, for example. Okay, there, before anyone, you could get off the phone there. Don't call the authorities on me. No, but seriously, we don't have any kid figures. What do we just have? Omega? We have 2 Omegas. We have Anakin coming and Ellie here. And I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, kid-sized figures. I mean, she's excellent. She's perfect. I mean, she even comes with her little monster thing on her backpack. It's awesome. And Joel, I mean, their articulation's great. You can remove the clothing and put on any you know, extra jackets, or, you know, you could buy some snow jackets. I mean, the accessories are bountiful. It's not even plentiful, it's bountiful. They come with socks. They each have socks. And if you disagree with this pick, I mean, replace with, there was a lot of good third party this year. But these, like, you know, there was the Jokers and stuff like that, but these were just perfect. They're just absolutely perfect. I mean, what's a more iconic duo in the past, 10? We're going on 15 years now. Next to, like, Batman and Robin, Vegeta and Goku. Ellie and Joel, man. Ellie and Joel. Come on. Number 3. Let's get them in there. And I'm keeping it as a set. Only because, like, the Mezco Justice League 3-pack, for example. Let's say I was picking the Batman or Superman from that. I can't really count that as one figure because you can't get that. I mean, I guess you can with eBay and all that, but you can't really get them as one figure. You know, you have to get the set. With this, you kind of didn't, but everyone got the pair. How are you not going to get the pair? Everyone got the pair. Okay, number 2. Now, this figure represents a lot more than just, it's a little dusty, the figure itself, but it's Ace Figure Arts, Bandai Turles. It's number 2 because the Dragon Ball figures are so highly contested, maybe you could say. Yeah, so he's a little dusty. He's been on the desk for a while because I wanted to see if anyone could beat him. And if you disagree with this pick, that's fine. He just represents the many good picks there were. I mean, there was Frieza second form was great. You know, Metal Cooler again is no complaint other than that figure just feels light and just a little on the cheap side. But the Big Piccolo, the Gohans, the new Gohans, the 3.0 bodies. I mean, you can't go wrong, but no one complained about this figure. Yes, he doesn't have cloth goods, but this is so, for rubber or plastic or whatever you want to call it, is so great. It's pliable. His pauldron slides right in there. It's beautiful, shaded, perfect. He's perfect. The original OG Goku Black. Everyone likes to call him. Articulation's great. You can't go wrong. If you disagree with this pick, like I said, you know, switch it with any other Dragon Ball. I thought it was going to be Orochimaru, but as soon as I took him out of the box, articulate his arm popped off. I mean, it did pop back in. I really wanted Orochimaru to make the list, or an Obito, but they just didn't feel as great as these. I have to be honest, you know what I mean? I just have to be honest with myself and kind of put my bias aside, which is going to lead to my number one, which I know I'm going to get crap for. Some people are going to disagree. You can replace it again with some other choices if you want, but hear me out. Let me argue this. The number one, the figure of the year, I believe, is the Mezco Toys 1/12 scale Michael Myers from Halloween 2. I know he isn't as iconic as other characters, but he is an iconic character. Does he look good? Yeah, he looks great. The bullet holes, I mean, they're old because this is the second movie, and they look worn. I mean, no one had any issues with this figure. No one had any complaints about this figure. Again, you know who it is. It's a familiar character. It feels good. The materials feel good. The body underneath, it feels like almost a Notaman level. And Notaman, if you're unfamiliar with those, they make some of the greatest bodies, 1/12 scale bodies around, like rivaling Mezco. So, I mean, does it articulate? I mean, you could put his hands in his pocket. I mean, and that took him a second. I mean, he's just, I know you may be disagreeing, maybe shaking your head, and maybe thinking, this guy, you just lost all your validity, your integrity in the garbage, down the toilet tubes. But no, I mean, honestly, you could have picked Robin, but everyone complained about his big head. I would have liked Robin on the list, but everyone thought he had a big head, or he was too tall. And you know, you could pick the Superman, but everyone complained he had a Mego thing. You know, I can't really pick the Alien. That fell apart on people. I wanted to pick the Predator, but his blaster broke apart on people. I mean, again, I didn't necessarily agree or have these things happen to me, but when I see a lot that happen to a lot of people, I can't pick that figure as figure of the year. I mean, maybe you can replace it with Solomon Kane. Excuse me. I'm just getting a little parched here. Yeah, who else? Roadblock was great. I mean, Destro, but he might have been last year. No, I think he was this year. But his holster would slide down. You know, if it had the tiniest flaw, it didn't make the list. This guy's price point was under $100. I mean, I guess with tax and shipping, it's, call it $100 figure. So, okay, let's call it $100 figure. Forget the price point. Fair for a cloth goods figure, 1/12 scale. You know, I wish they could go down to 80, but I mean, he was retail 85 if we want to split hairs. Accessories were great. He came with a light up LED pumpkin that lit up. He came with extra heads. I mean, this head is, I don't know if you could see the eyes with the angle of the light. No, but that's cool because he does have eyes in there, and it's like totally blacked out, which is really neat. I mean, he moves just so well, like butter, man. Smooth. Oh my, I can't get over how smooth he moves. Get this figure. It's underrated. It's missed. I don't even know where to put him here. It's slept on. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't like the character, you can, you know, pop the head off and make somebody else with it. Pop this off, use the body, and use the jumpsuit for something else. I'm telling you, it's figure of the year. If you disagree, that's fine. That's fine. I see a lot of other people's picks, and everyone has respectable picks. Again, you could have replaced any one of these. The third parties with the Hitman figure, I thought that figure was great. I mean, there's Hot Toys, but then we're getting, you know, really getting out there. That's why I really didn't want to pick a, you know, Warhammer figure. But no, I stand by my choices. I'm going to stand by them here. Here's my top 10. If you agree or disagree, let me know. I'm curious to hear what you say. But I'm not going to chicken up like, this is just my opinion. I hate it when people say that. I feel like that's such a cop-out. People say that because when you're like, if it's so bad, and it's like, oh, no, don't jump on my back. It's just my opinion. Yeah, it's such a cop-out. It's such a cop-out. So have at it. I'm open with it. I'm ready to defend these figures. I've made my points with them. Agree to disagree. I'm glad it was a decent 2023, but I am looking forward to 2024. I hope it brings more things. So let's go. Onward!